This is a public service message by the Ohio Department of Higher Education, the Ohio Cyber Range Institute, and the University of Dayton Center for Cybersecurity and Data Intelligence. With things such as Facebook, Instagram, Gmail, mobile phones, and various other digital artifacts, i.e. content and hardware, more and more of us have not just a physical presence, but a digital presence as well. Part of cybersecurity is thinking about how to preserve data that will almost certainly outlive your loved ones. Speaking of digital artifacts left by loved ones moves quickly into a discussion of estate planning. As with much of one's personal estate, upon our passing, there is no guarantee that these artifacts are treated in any sort of uniform way. As with any kind of estate planning, conscious choices should be made. This has led to some discussion about steps that a family should take with respect to one's digital footprint once the owner of the accounts and devices has passed away. As with any conversations surrounding the end of one's life and estate planning, this is fraught with potential challenges, but it doesn't have to be. The good news is that there are generations of policies and practices for end of life and estate planning we may transpose to the digital realm in order to choose the best possible course of action. While I have expertise in digital estates, I am not a lawyer, and hence this is not legal advice. Any discussion of estate planning should be taken up with a licensed attorney, which brings me to some important disclaimers. First, I have expertise in digital estates, but I am not a lawyer, and as such, this is not legal advice. In addition to your family, you really should take this discussion up with an attorney having appropriate credentials and experience to help make the best decisions. Second, I will also note that this is a big area, and at best, I'm going to provide enough to get started. So, what are some best practices dealing appropriately with one's digital estate? There are basically two areas of concern. These are devices and accounts. To devices, up until fairly recently, people kept digital artifacts, for example, pictures, music, and documents, almost exclusively on their own personal devices. Obviously, as time progresses, the movement toward cloud-based storage, Google Drive, Amazon Drive, Microsoft OneDrive, or iCloud will mean a lot of this stuff will move to the accounts category. What should we do about devices? Determine with family and your loved one's estate planner who will be responsible for the physical devices. This would include personal computers, for example, Macs, PCs, Chromebooks, etc., mobile phones, digital assistants, backup drives, and so forth. Having an inventory of these devices is important so nothing gets missed. For each device, the responsible party should first inventory what's on them, make backups of the important stuff, and then sanitize the devices by wiping all drives and settings. PCs and Macs will perhaps involve formatting. Phones should be reset to factory settings, and Chromebooks can be power washed. Be certain to take out any removable storage media. If the devices are relatively new and a family member wants them to use, they can then be handed over. If not, they can be donated to charity. On phones, be certain to remove the SIM card and destroy it when the phone account is closed. Accounts can get a little more complicated as various social media and other online accounts have different procedures and options. For example, Facebook allows a user's page to be memorialized or simply deleted. Google has procedures for deleting accounts. Other online discussion forums may have their own procedures as well, though some aspects are universal, such as requiring a death certificate for your loved one. Cloud storage options mentioned above will also have rules for such situations. In any case, the best general advice here is to work with your loved one and their estate planner to have an inventory of accounts they have and ideally an agreement about what should be done. This will include a list of user IDs and passwords for the executor of the estate so the accounts may be accessed and then dispensed when the time comes in a manner consistent with your loved one's wishes. Another aspect of online accounts involves funds stored in various accounts. Banks are sort of easy because as regulated entities, there are rules already in place for them. However, you may have funds in some sort of non-bank entity. For example, you may have funds on Venmo or PayPal, or with an eBay store, or even cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. Cryptocurrency in particular, given its anonymity and increasing popularity, creates challenges for appropriate disposal to which the law is only now catching up. In addition to finances, your loved one may also have libraries of music or video, like Amazon Prime or iTunes. What would they want done with this content? If your loved one was active in online forums, they may wish to have some sort of message posted on their behalf after they pass. Further, your loved one may want the accounts to be closed to new content but left available for followers to read. Obviously, doing this will require coordination with the site as well as your loved one so that the message left behind honors their legacy. Clearly, there's a lot more on this topic. However, we hope that we've provided enough material to help get you started when it comes time to make the best choices in taking care of your loved one's digital legacy. A public service message from the Ohio Department of Higher Education, the Ohio Cyber Range Institute, and the University of Dayton Center for Cybersecurity and Data Intelligence.